I'm Andrew Werners, founder and principal of Pitchside Sports Consulting and CEO and editor-in-chief of the Football Regulatory Database. This platform was built on a clear objective: to connect the game from the ground up, not through headlines, not through surface-level analysis, but through the realities of how football actually operates across clubs, leagues, and professionals working within it every day. The Football Regulatory Database is not just a content platform. It's a point of connection between local football and the global game, between those observing the system and those operating within it, and ultimately between football as a culture and football as a functioning ecosystem. But what does it actually mean to build a connected football ecosystem? Because right now, the game is not connected. It is fragmented. Clubs operate in isolation, intermediaries move within closed circles, professionals across the game, whether legal, financial, strategic, or operational, often work in parallel rather than together. And most importantly, local football stories remain local. They do not travel, they do not connect, and they do not scale into the global game. That fragmentation has consequences, not just commercially, but culturally. Because football has never lacked a global system. The structure already exists through FIFA and the broader international framework that governs the game. But a global system does not automatically create a global ecosystem. That only happens when people, stories, and ideas are connected to it. And this is where the gap sits. This is what the Football for All initiative is building toward. Following the traction from recent notes, particularly those focused on local football stories, this initiative builds on that momentum and turns it into something functional. Because making football truly global does not start at the top. It starts at the ground level and works its way up, with local clubs, local leagues, local operators, local legal professionals, and the stories that define them. The objective here is simple: take what exists locally and connect it globally. This is where the foundation of Substack aligns directly with our vision here at the Football Regulatory Database. Substack is not built for mass passive consumption. It is built for direct relationship building, high intent audiences, professional development for niche industries like football law, and ownership of narrative. It allows ideas to develop, communities to form, and conversations to evolve without being diluted by algorithm-driven noise. That structure matters, because a connected football ecosystem requires exactly that: clarity, continuity, and proximity between those contributing to it. This is where the Football Regulatory Database and the Football is for All initiative sits within that environment. Not as a content page, but as a node of connection. 2 layers, 1 ecosystem. Substack Chat is the community layer. This is where the culture lives. It builds directly on the engagement already created, bringing together local football stories, perspectives, and voices into a shared environment. This is where the game begins to connect beyond borders. The WhatsApp group is the professional layer. This is where execution happens. A smaller, more direct environment designed for immediate communication, problem solving, and continuous interaction across time zones and roles. It includes a growing base of Caribbean, Canadian, American clubs, leagues, and federation officials within the CONCACAF region. This is not broad conversation. It is focused interaction. And that distinction matters. Because building a connected football ecosystem requires both: a place where the culture is shared and a place where the work gets done. The broader shift is already visible when players like Thibaut Courtois, Real Madrid's starting keeper, begin using platforms like Substack. It reflects a move towards ownership of narrative, audience, and direction. This initiative builds on that same principle, but applies it to the ecosystem itself. Not visibility, not noise, structure. Not theory, application. Alongside this, Pitchside Sports Consulting remains the advisory layer behind the ecosystem. For those operating within the game who require structured support, that work continues separately and directly through the firm. But this is the entry point. If you are in football at any level, this is where the conversations start. Join the space, engage the conversation, and share your perspective. Because making football truly global does not begin with institutions. It begins with connection, and connections start here.